fresh up out that mud, I'm a diamond in the rough. So when you see me shining now, know it's anything but look. I'm looking in the mirror at the only one I with. I've been held me down, so when you see me now, I'm up. I'm fresh up out that mud, I'm a diamond in the rough. So when you see me shining now, know it's anything but look. It's anything but
diamond in the rough, yeah, we had it tough, yeah, we had the pressure and the pressure done its stuff. Oh, I'm not flexing when I'm brushing off the dust, no. All this pain,
hello.
my shoulders rust. In this
And
life,
it's
gotta do what you must.
janky as at the moment, isn't it?
Trust, avoid fuss. Maybe you don't know the facts, you don't know enough. You can
Hello.
every day I send love.
Hold on.
Every day I do
trying to see if she can slide. It's in the green now. It's snakes from my past. They look at me where I'm at, thinking they can hit my line, and I'ma help them on their feet now. I had a few I looked up to. They showing different shades. They might have blocked a couple rays, but now they watching a beam down. I struggle to open doors to places that come to life if I step inside. I learned to cut the keys down.
Hello.
Got it locked. This demon stirring the pot with pretty faces and plots that try to knock me off my feet now. No new friends. I had so many hit my line for the freebie, but if you see me out, you gotta pay the fee now.
Is this working? It seems to be working. Fingers crossed. Smoothness. That's better. Okay. We should be back now. I think we're all back. I've got to stop being frozen so I can see the delay on my end. Good now? All right, we're good. Okay, how you doing, Dad? Yeah, I know it's janky. Preparing for it all day, doesn't matter. It's just not bloody being very nice. Okay. How you doing, Rod? Matija. Hi, Ben. Wanted to ask, you don't focus on Twitch anymore. Do you think streaming here on YouTube is better? I personally don't follow anyone on Twitch. It's mostly gamers oriented anyway. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's kind of the same. How are the audio levels on YouTube? Can you give me and on Instagram as well, can you give me a little bit of an indication? That would be lovely. I think, with fingers crossed, I've dialed in the tech stuff. Seems good on YouTube. Legend. Thank you, Rod. What's the deal with the streams? Always I know, because I'm trying to update it. I'm trying to update the streams. I got new internet, so I could push 4K. Which I don't think is working. Oh, it might be working. Audio. Anyway, we've had some issues. Doesn't matter. You guys don't care about that. I care about that because I've been dealing with it all day. But we're here. I wanted to do a stream in. Would be nice if it was a bit louder. Thank you. Okay. Let me just fix that. I should be able to fix that just like this. I reckon that should be good-ish. Sweet. Okay, so you should see in the pinned comment, you can join to listen to what I'm actually listening to on Spotify. That's what's going through my headphones. Slightly louder would be nice. Okay. I just don't want to blow people's eardrums out. Slightly louder. How's that? I think that might be a nice middle ground. Hopefully. Okay. So this is an experiment. I wanted to do like a European time zones. People have asked me to do that. So this is just an experiment to see how this feels. Trying to do a bit of a traditional stream as well. So seeing how that sounds. Okay. Should be working fine now. So yeah, I'm working with oils at the moment. Just crack open the OBS. You know what? Maybe it's actually recording on OBS as well. All right, so I've got my palette, got what I've been working on so far. Fernando, hello Ben, I love you, man. Sorry for the question I'm about to ask. Depends what it is. Would you ever consider doing a stylized erotica course? Fernando, I don't know, how much you're paying? Nah, probably not. Rodline, have you ever thought about doing either private lessons or one-off sessions with people for specific issues or review? I have thought about that, and that is something to keep in mind for the somewhat near to middle future. I'm thinking about that. Okay, so I'm very new to oils, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna just try and take this further today, just for a couple of hours, and we'll see how we go. Roxy, it's working, isn't it? It's a bloody miracle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with like one of these middle sort of skin tones. All right, so what I'm gonna do, let's start with a bit of this yellow. Bit of yellow, bit of white. All right, now we want to orange it up a bit, so you get a little bit of the red. Now I've got to get better at not being so anemic with my paint, not being afraid to get more paint on the palette, right? So I'm going to give us, because we're going to be mainly working in the skin tones today, I'd like to get myself a fair chunk of the skin color to work with, and then push around, push the values up, push the values to the left, to the right. Matija, when did you learn traditional painting? Oil painting can be messy. I did a very, very short stint, as in like 2 paintings, like 10 years ago. And then I just started to pick it up again in the last few weeks. But what I've learnt just from these last few weeks has been even just with colour and colour theory. Actually throwing the paint down has been nuts. Oh. All my tech, I tell you what, everything. There we go. Okay, can we still hear me? I hope so. I love the time. Usually have to stay up all night to join the stream or miss it. Don, buddy, great to have you. And welcome. So yeah, I'm just giving myself a base skin tone at the moment. Way too red, so I'm gonna increase the value. And this just fascinates me, just like mixing the paint getting the right color. So much paint on here. We could even be a bit fancy and use the palette knife. Might be a bit faster or more messy. We shall see. Alright, so that's quite pink. What I want to do is cool. Now the cool thing is, say if we wanted this to be more grey, right? And it's a principle that works with digital, works with traditional, whatever. The opposite of sort of the readiness on the color wheel is going to be blue. No, like green, right? We've already got a bit of the yellow, not blue. We've already got a bit of the yellow in here. So what I might do is just grab a bit of this blue and like neutralize it a little bit. Push it more towards the grays. Just as a base, right? Now there's going to be traditional artists in here going like, ew, what are you doing? This is not the way to do it. I know. My pleasure, Fernando, no worries. All right. So we've got this kind of, let's lay it somewhere where I think it might fit. Okay, way too light. All right, but not terrible. So that's a good gauge. One thing I'm noticing, you've just got to lay it down and see how it fits, right? So we've got a top-down light source. Okay, so all the upward-facing planes is something to focus on. Drawing with Mussy, welcome back, my friend. How you doing? I know I usually use traditional media for expressive landscapes, not focusing on details, because canvas texture can make it hard to detailize. Yeah, agree, but this is a pretty fine weave. It's like a paper canvas sort of deal, so it's not too bad. So let's have a look here. So I'm going to squint down and see. So that's pretty saturated. I might even want to desaturate that a little bit more. And I know the white, titanium white, can actually, let's see if I can get a little bit closer. Oh, I'm just glad that the stream's not shitting itself. Touch wood. It's working so far. And I think I figured out the Photoshop issue from last stream as well. It was an internet issue. It was trying to push too many gigabytes out that I didn't have, but now I'm all stocked up on gigabytes. It works a lot better. So now I'm trying to hit that illusion of, say, like that kind of cup in the air that's facing upwards. So I'm just going to bounce around and just have some fun with it. This is experimental stream. Ask as many questions as you want. Jacob. Rodline, anyone else know intellectually in your head what you're supposed to do, but between head and hand and imagine it gets wrong, I know I should do, but it won't come out right. That is the story of my life. I mean, if every stroke, right, what I had in my head, or like every sort of idea, or I guess the word would be, I don't know, what I want it to look like, would just, every stroke would just be like, bam, 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 that's right, that's right, that's right. I think that would also take a little bit of the fun out of it as well, like the figuring out of stuff, you know? All right, let's squint our eyes. Start laying in some of these.
Yeah, just run 'em.
Colors. Alright, so I'm thinking about color. I'm thinking about lighter, darker, warmer, cooler. And even with oils, I feel like I'm cheating in a way, because some of the effects you can get with oils, man, just the blendiness you can get. All right, so I'm gonna sort of navigate to like a slightly darker value. All right. And just lay that in. There's like a transition on the nose. Super, it's too late. Yeah, it's 8:50 p.m. for me. This is like doable if I was going to do this ongoing. But not as a replacement for the other stream, but as an addition. And the cool thing is, the way I've set it up, I can like change scenes, and now we're digital. And now we're back to traditional. So I might almost, I want to experiment with like mixing the two worlds, you know? So like, oh, I've got this idea. I want to like, I know how to do it digitally. Let's figure it out traditionally. So I reckon that's going to help my learning a lot as well. Fish use art. Welcome. The imperfection of eye to hand is part of why it's art, because there's human imperfection. Agreed. Agreed. Alright, so I'm going to go darker again. See how I'm sort of going, okay, there's a little bit of a lighter value here, darker value here, but not just, I don't have black on here. I don't have black on my palette. I've just got blues. So as I go down in value, I do want to change the hue. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but what are you going to do? Super, it's 4 a.m. What are you doing? I'm doing well, my friend. Are you up coding on the game? Or have you woken up? Rod from Chicago. Keanu, welcome back. All right, we'll refine some more of these shapes definitely as we go, but I'd like to see, and this is another thing, once I've got like a color on my brush, right, I want to see where else in the painting that I can use that, which really helps with like, what's the word? Efficiency. Don Jet, it's 12 p.m. Bloody beautiful. Navda, welcome back. Yep. Spotify Jan. That's it. Okay, so that's the ear, the light's coming down. I think I want to go even darker here. So let's, but I also, as we go darker, I might want to cool it down a little bit. So if you squint your eyes here at this palette, you can clearly see the value changes. At least that's what I'm seeing. So I might grab a little bit of this guy. And the cool thing is, because all the values are next to it, all the paint bits are next to each other, you can like mix them back into each other. So if you need that in-between value, just use that and then just like bam, lay it next to it.
Run 'em. Yeah, just run 'em. I'm on the mezzanine. I go so hard just to fuck up my enemy.
Ishan, designing your own character, nice one. Percy, should you draw realism before stylized? I think do a bit of both. There's no reason in my mind why you can't just dabble with both. Realism helped me a lot with understanding form, but again, there's no reason why it can't do both, you know. Like, I want to sort of mix the worlds a little bit with my stylized work. Yeah, it's a bit too dark. So what I want to do is I want to fix up the eyes here. Oop, too light. In between. Counter, is this an Alla Prima? I think Alla Prima is wet on wet. This isn't. I would like to have, but I just didn't have time. So a lot of this is dry. I appreciate it, Caden T. Shout out. Appreciate the kind words. Ishan, me too, my friend, me too. Alright, let's keep rolling this. Whoa, okay, so we got a lot of blue in here. So I could say too much. So I'm really trying to just model the form at the moment. Nah, way too dark. Way too dark. Now I think this part in here will be a lot lighter. Or at least the transition can be like a nice roll off. Okay, Caden. Bye-bye. I'll put you in timeout. Caden bot. What's my optimal stream time? don't know, probably the Mondays, 10 a.m., 10:45 a.m. Let's have a look at this neck. So I want to test that a little. Bit there. Now as we build up this modeling phase, stuff just starts to, which should ideally, hopefully, fingers crossed, look a little bit more realistic. I have such a feeling that I just want to get straight to the details, but I must resist. I must resist. Super, just finished a solid night of making shaders. I was making a terrain shader that blends materials together in an RG. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's got to be satisfying. See, I'm thinking about this neck as like a cylinder. Now there's some weirdness going on in here. Let's smooth it out a little bit better. Legend, how you doing? Welcome back. Kiara, how are you good at everything you try for the first time? This isn't the first time I've tried. 10 years ago I did a bit of oil painting. But because I've been like studying like light, color, hue, blah 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 blah, the principle's the same. Light is light. It's just how the medium that you're trying to sort of get the effect from, if that makes sense. Alright, I want to play with the eyes. So let's mix up an eye, like the whites of the eyes. So that is going to be, now I've just got also just like a little paper towel. And I'm not really even cleaning the brush that much. So I guess we'll start about with a little bit of white. Might need to scooch back as I start to add more, but what I want to do is really bring it down into the way too blue, right? Now what we can do, a bit of this alizarin crimson to it, and that should like neutralize it. Right, it turns a little bit more purple. Alright, so then we can add a bit of blue to really like grey it out. That's like a grey purpley sort of deal. Now we need to lighten it some. I almost wanted a little bit on the greener side, so let's add a little bit of that lemon yellow. Yes, thank you so much. Let's just put a dot somewhere to see how that value is. Yeah, nice. Okay. We're not as green as I would like, so let's add a little bit more of that yellow in here. And let's make these eyes a bit bigger, I reckon. Now, way too bright. Way too bright. So I will... All right, so let's have a look here. All right, so that's way too bright. So let's add in, let's darken it right down.
It get hotter in the summer,
Jacob, I really like the stylistic features in your narrative. The imagery is really compelling and the plot has an unexpected twist. Good use of alliteration. What narrative are we talking about? Keanu, have found a new name for the guy version of Plain Jane, and how are the sales going? I haven't landed on anything for the guy version just yet. And yeah, we sold out in the first like 3 hours, which was nuts. It was pretty crazy. So yeah, those will be shipping out Monday. Everyone that bought one should have an email letting them know. Yeah, there's a little bit of an illusion going on with the bottom part of the eye here. How the light is sort of hitting it, so it kind of looks like a highlight. So we need to keep an eye on that, pun fully intended. Now, as I get better at this, I'll be a lot faster, I'm sure. But while I'm learning, we will go at the pace that makes sense. Alright, now let's tackle the outer eye, or the outer eye, the eye that's furthest away from us. Alright, so it's got to be quite a bit darker. Yeah. Now, I want to add a little bit of that red to the corner of the eye in here. Just a little bit of red. Like the tear duct kind of thing. So this is where a bit of that mixing of the realism and stylization can come in. Catch you later, Super. Great to have you pop in. Ah, Wealth Insight. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Maxima. Fishiest, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I want the sort of focal point to be in the eyes. So what I might do is start to add in some of the darkness of the eyes to really make them like pop. Now, I think I'm poking at it a little bit too much. I think I need to just figure out how to be a little bit more confident. So when you start to add the darks, things start to pop. For lack of a better word. Maxima, it's oils. Yeah, I've got to do a bit of work around the eye. So let's get some of these darker colours that we had before. Now what I'm talking about is like right under that brow. I want more chroma, so a lot more red in there would be nice. If that's okay with you. Yeah. Even more, I think. Just a smidge. Yeah, we need to really pop the eyelashes as well eventually. Let's add a little bit of this, maybe to the ear as well. Because if there's a shadow here, there's definitely going to be a shadow of sorts. Like in here. Something like that. But like the way that this just like blends into one another. Rod, it is. It is my main job. What paint set do you use? So this is, what is it again? Winsor & Newton Winton oil color. The eyebrows are really starting to pop now, as well as the eyes. It's looking incredible and mesmerizing. Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, oils are turning into one of my favorites as well. I'm bloody loving them. Don't like that. The bone brew, yeah. Trying a bit of a different time zone and a different medium. Fishius agreed. It's sometimes it's just the indication of just like different strokes. I think I can bring the iris down a little bit as well. So let's see if we can do that. A little bit of this. AZ Aussie, welcome. I just love with the traditional stuff, just like the pushing and pulling. Let's see if I can do how easy this is, how I've got it set up. If I can take you along for the detail ride. Let's really add some chroma and maybe lighten it up a tad. No, more lightness, thank you. You guys really can't see the subtleties, I bet, but trust me, they're there. Elsie, welcome. Sorry if you answered this before, but have you started doing traditional due to the rise of AI? No, I've always wanted to, just to see if I can get better, but it's not like it's like a nice adjacent thing that, like, yeah, can't fake this. It's pigments. it's pigments on canvas. Fishiest, I do digital painting now, but I believe it's good to look at traditional for ideas still. 1000%, 1010%. Wealth Insights. No, you're 1000% right. They're coming up. Still got a long ways to go, but maybe I don't want to be like too picky with this because I'm still very, very new to the process. I don't want to get really like too far down into the details, you know. So I might just start slapping some colors, right? Particularly shadows on the eye. Underneath that lash there, a lot of that is going to be shadow. See how that's giving it a little bit more depth compared to where it was. Yes, working with oils. Yep, Mister, it's oils. Thank you so much, Elsie. Jacob, you scumbag. Okay, hide this user. Raven, why oil paint? I have been finding that you can get effects with it that you can't with anything else. Well, not without like a lot of messing about. Yeah, I think in here needs to be quite a bit darker. So I'm just going back and forth. See what this is like. No, darker still. Too dark. That's pretty much all it's like. We can get some of these on the other side as well, some of this depth. Yeah. Catch you later, fishes. Someone needs to invent in real life undo. But this is the thing, right? The cool thing is, like say if I messed it up and I put a line there, you've got all the colors here, right? Or you can easily mix that color again and just go straight over the top. So it's really not too much of a hassle. I appreciate it, Raven. The bone brew. I am really enjoying gouache. It's very... You can use it kind of like adjacent to oils in a way, like the opacity of it. Does that make sense at all? Probably not. But yeah, gouache, watercolors, markers, I think all work well together from my limited knowledge / playing around. Or a true digital paintbrush with haptic feedback per bristle, so it feels like paint and lays down paint digitally, one per brush hair basis. Well, that would be lovely. Wealth insight. Thank you very much. I do. Oh god. You're making me blush. Debbie, how you doing? I've still yet to get back to you about the Gumroad tutorial. I've not forgotten. Just coming in, have you mentioned why you only use small canvases? So I don't get bogged down on everything having to be this grand, big, like masterpiece. I'm sort of cutting my teeth on the smaller stuff because the principles will still be the same if and when I do larger stuff, you know. They'll all be very, very similar. Yeah, the eye's a little bit maybe too poppy, I think. I think I just haven't got the other eye in there, so maybe we focus on just getting a little bit of that. Thoughts on making another course? Really enjoyed your first one. Thank you so much, and it's on the cards. I want to release it this year. But it will be a proper course. Now, because we dropped that eye down, this one has to drop down just a smidge. So I'm trying to keep the dimension either side, so I'm sort of looking back and forth. I appreciate it, Bone Brew. I had to buy a couple of paints. Yeah, I bought like a couple of brushes. I brought some paint, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I bought like four paints. This is just if I scooch this back, this is just a cheap picture frame that I like colored. I just painted the back of it like a neutral gray. So that's like super cheap. These brushes are like, I don't even know. They were kind of the only ones that the art store had. They're like a Princeton round, but yeah, I had to buy a few things. Didn't just have them laying around. Yeah, it's as big as my hand-ish. So it's not tiny, tiny. This is probably one of the larger ones I've ever done. Catch you later, Raven. Thanks so much for popping in. Ah, Navda, Ocean by John Butler. Fantastic song. Listen to it now. Listening to it now. Dev, you can't wait for the big transition to larger ones once you get comfortable with it. Yeah, definitely. Plus, I'd be wasting like a lot of paint, I'm sure. Just trying to figure stuff out. Alright, so this eye is back in space. It's going to be quite a lot darker. So let's darken this eye up, push it back. Prathav, hey Ben, how you doing Prathav? I like working from reference and stylizing my work and sculpting them in 3D just like you do. Do you think it's okay to use these character references as a base for character designs? Yeah, I don't see why not. Ah, Ashlyn, welcome. Fishiest, yeah, good point. Yeah, this is kind of like thumbnailing in a way. Very good point. I concur. See, now we're really starting to model the side of this eye. Pushing that back in space. That transition makes sense. Yeah, it needs to be a little lower. Just a little tiny bit. What I might do is even feather the edges. There. Wealth Insight, nah, I'm just going along with it. However she turns out is I've got a reference here that you guys can't see because I couldn't figure out how to show that because of technical stuff, but it's like I did a stylized face of a girl on Pinterest, and it looks nothing like the girl on Pinterest, so I'm just going with it, seeing how it all turns out. Inventing some of the light source as well, which I'm going to have to because I've sort of invented the shapes. Prathav, yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why that would be an issue. Ah, appreciate it, Orkin. Actually, it's not a waste of pain if you learn something. True. True. Summer, that's something that I'm contending with right now. So don't feel like you're alone in that. I'm skewing way more towards the realism unintentionally. And I've got to like sort of pull myself out of that. So it's a very conscious decision to like make the eyes a little bit bigger, you know, like. I'm not sure if I should. I might just model the shapes before any like rim light or anything like that and come in with that afterwards, maybe? I don't know. See, I've got to learn the processes of what to do. Yeah, join me for the details. So you can see the canvas texture, like it's not like super canvasy. It's like a weird in between. Artistic Spartan, how you doing? Yep, 10 p.m. Breath app, you're too kind, my friend. Is it just me, or do you get stingy with your I'm stingy as shit. I need to get over that. I really need to just be like, put some more on there. You know? Good. Thank you for the reminder. too stingy. Let's go. Prathav, congrats on the wildly successful plain Jane drop. How many were in this batch? There were 30 in this batch. So the first batch of 30 will be flying over to their new homes on Monday. Which, yeah, it was pretty nuts, but it was like a nice proof of concept of like, all right, this is first little data point that this is viable to keep putting some time into it. So there will be more drops. I want to kind of do them somewhat consistently. Orkin, you're too kind. Thank you so much. Ashlyn, I'm listening to something completely different to what you're listening to. I'm listening to One More Time by Blink-182. This was their last song when I heard them live. Oof. Give me the chills. Get some of this definition of that sort of crease in the lips. There needs to be a lot of finessing and pushing stuff around. But I'm looking in the mirror at the only one I fuck with. I've been held me down, so when you see me now I'm up. I'm fresh up out that mud, I'm a diamond in the rough, so when you see me shining now, I know it's anything but look. It's anything but diamond in the rough, yeah, we had it tough, yeah, we had the pressure and the pressure done its stuff. Oh, I'm not flexing when I'm brushing off the dust, no. You can't really see. I might use this fancy camera that's looking at me on the artwork. That probably makes more sense. Every day I do me, makes me wanna see you, makes me wanna see more, makes me wanna see through. Maybe we become one, maybe this is the thing. There's an energy and flavor to the things that you bring to the table, any way you're able. Real work turns into gold when you're stable. Now life feels sweet like syrup, like maple. Wouldn't change a thing about my past to stay grateful. I'm staring in the mirror at the only one I trust. Been down on my luck, so when you see me now I'm up. I'm fresh up out that mud, I'm a diamond in the rough, so when you see me shining now, know it's anything but look. I'm looking in the mirror at the only one I fuck with. I've been held me down, so when you see me now I'm up. It's the stream music, yeah. Charred Marbles, the music is so good. Which music? I think the music I'm listening to is fantastic, but I'm glad that the stream music's going good. Keanu, Frank's making a comeback. Don't you worry, Keanu. Shania, it is oil. I struggle to open doors to places that come to life if I step inside. I learn to cut the keys down. Got it locked, this demon stirring the pot with pretty faces and plots that try to knock me off my feet now. No new friends, I had so many hit my line for the freebie, but if you see me out, you gotta pay the fee now. Now I need to think about the skin on this side of the face. I think. And there's all sorts of stuff you can do with like oils. You can do like glazing and all sorts. No clue. I've got kind of a clue, but no real confident clue on how I'll go about doing that.
It's anything but luck now.
Way too dark. Let's lighten that up. Way too dark. Let's again lighten that up. So I'm just trying to get some roundness, like a roundness sort of feeling. Now I'm also thinking about the wireframe sort of that lip sort of coming like out, in and out again, if that makes sense. I need to do a little bit of, yeah, I'm bouncing around all over, just like I do with my digital shit. I'll bounce around all over the place. Mixter, what's going on, my friend? Welcome. I'm doing well. How you doing? Prathav, it's a specific kind of structure you follow when learning new skills, or you just go about it naturally? I really said your part is that you are a spectacular learner. Thank you so much, Prathav. It's something that I've really looked into for a long time, like habits and learning new skills and that sort of stuff. Like in my early 20s, even like when I was 18, 19, like rapid learning was something I'm really interested in. And a lot of it is, I mean, there's books and books and books on it. But the main takeaways I got was chunking things down into manageable and like doable things so that you get that little dopamine hit, right? You get the learning part, you get the dopamine hit of succeeding on a small scale, hence smaller like studies and bits and pieces. And then setting things up as like your environment as easy as possible to do the thing that you want to learn. Like that's why I've got this whole traditional setup now. So it makes sense to just scooch over here and then just do a bit of painting. You know, it's not like a whole, I've got to get the paints out, I've got to get blah, blah, blah. The paints are on my desk, ready to go. The brush is here. Like it's all ready to go. There's like a whole bunch of other shit that I'd, like a good book is Atomic Habits, The 4-Hour Chef by Tim Ferriss, Ultra Learning, The Power of Habit. I've probably got a few back here. Bounce is a good one. Switch is another good one. But yeah, no, I'm very, very nerdy with that sort of stuff. Roy, yep, it's oil paint. Certainly is. Let's see if this stroke does anything for me. Nah, ruined it. But the beautiful thing is, you can just come over the top and just lighten him up. And we're back. Artistic, yep, working on it, my friend. Working on the course. It's going to be later on this year. Keanu looks like an Arctic monkey. I like it. Mixed a nice one. It's all that caffeine. It's oftentimes a detriment, I think, being real. Caffeine. It's great for real short spurts, but apart from that, it's it can go bad real quick for me, at least for me. I think I'm really sensitive to it. Let's have a look at the shadow under the nose. What can we do with that?
OJ with that juice, got that magic 32. Tell me what you trying to do.
I like a little bit more of that shadow there. Rod, path of least resistance makes it easier to get gut. 1000%. 1,000,000,000,000%. Also, another big thing, setting up your day before you go to sleep. Game changer for me. Like, really. All right, now I'm going to try and do some sort of reflected light under the nose. We need to fix that up, but that's okay. Oh, Ashlyn, I'm waiting for the end to do that. You know, I'm gonna get a nice blue and just be like, pow, 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 pow. I want to give that illusion of that rounding of the eyelid as well. And the beautiful thing is, you can see everything here. You can see where I started from, going back and forth, and I can kind of see where my value structures are, all just in front of me here, which is something that you don't often get the privilege to do when it's digital, you know. If that makes sense. I don't know if it does or not. Just rambling. I think that eye can even come down a bit further as well. See that little transition right there, just that. You kind of get that for free. I don't know if I like it or not, but it's a smooth transition that I would still be finessing it with digital. I swear I'm not addicted to room light. I am. I am. Good for you, Ashley, if you're not. Oh, it's 7 a.m. Completely flipped it. Nice one. Yeah, Ashley, I generally agree. As I've started to get a bit older. Oh, someone asked how old I was. I can't remember who. I'm 30. I don't know who asked that, but yeah, as I've gotten older, the mornings have been a lot more enjoyable for me. I used to hate the mornings. Like, was not a fan. Nah, ruined it. That's okay, we can push that back. I hope. Yeah, something's not sitting right with the eye with me, but that's okay. We will figure it out eventually. That might have been it. There was just a value that was just a bit off. Don't you just wish you could bump the hue and saturation of traditional drawings? I do. Barath, one quick question. How important is it to learn about facial fat deposits for drawing stylized characters? It can be super helpful. I haven't actually done any particular study on that myself, but it'll be super useful, definitely. Rod, 30, you're still practically a puppy. Thank you, Rod. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. But I feel like that's what's, you feel that every like decade or whatever. It's like when I was 20, I was like, oh my God, I'm 20. Oh. And then I look back now and I'm like, ugh, shut up. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm 30. And when I'm 40, I'm going, oh, shut up. And so on and so forth and so on and so forth. Okay, I think what we might play with is that like tear duct under the eye. I'm getting way... I'm noodling, and I don't care. Who knows it? I'm noodling like a crazy person. Let's see if we can model this cheek. Up in value, thank you very much. Rod. Yeah, I still feel, yeah, 18. The shading between the eyebrow and the eye is a bit dark. Yeah, but I'm going to make that fit soon. So I'm going to darken all this up. Like momentarily. I just want to see if I can hit that line there. I don't want to do too much blending either. Now I can come back down the cheek. Down the other side. Now there is a little bit of a dip in her jaw that I want to keep. I might want to start thinking about the color pops as well. So like underneath here, maybe I saturate like a red in here. Well, maybe I do something different. Maybe I add a bit of this like crazy blue. What's the worst that can happen? It looks terrible. Just starting to, you know, like just starting to play in the darks. Yeah, she does look like she needs some sleep. Actually, as someone who recently turned 21, congratulations. I know how you feel. Mark. Hi Ben, only just caught the stream. Did you do an underpainting first? And if so, how long did you leave it before second go? Thanks. I did kind of do an underpainting-ish, not a like a conscious one. I just started it and then I left it maybe like a couple of days, but for no other reason than I just got busy. I would have liked to knock this out and say like a 3 or 4 hour session, like all in one. That would have been good. But yeah. Will we ever see you draw the mystical forest mechanic again? That is on the to-dos, I think, for an oil painting. See if I can replicate that. How's all the cameras? Are they holding up? Yeah, nice. Touch wood. I'm noodling in the wrong spots right now. I think we need to actually figure out the hair. Let's figure out the hair a little bit. Put the base so we get a whole bunch of the bleu. Sacre bleu. Technically, phthalo blue. It's super dark. I want to give us some room to move. Values wise. Let's see. I do want to keep it very like geometric-ish. If that makes sense. Just get the big basic shapes in first, and then I can always come in and do those like flyaway type things. Actually, thanks. Learning oils myself from the timing, drying times were a steep learning curve for me. Yeah, definitely. Me too. I wouldn't mind as like an exercise as well to just go like and try and do just like a study, like a realism study. That'd be fun, I reckon. But finding with the oils, you really do have to trust the process. Because in digital, I'd already be like, whip, 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 put the blocks of color in, and then do my little tricks to make it look okay. But here, you don't have that pleasure. You've just got to trust. Thank you, Orkin. Kiani, I really want to see you go crazy on one of your paintings, like scratches, splatter marks, overlays. Yeah. One day, when I'm like super duper confident, maybe we do like timed oil paintings one day. If I'm honest, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of just like just playing. This is Ben's Mona Little. Jesus. Don't put that kind of pressure. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I heard something about the Mona Lisa. That there's like a much nicer, not nicer necessarily, but like more interesting painting of it was like one of his like his studies, like just up from the Mona Lisa that no one looks at. It's like a much more interesting painting apparently. You can get right up close to it. So shiny. I wish I used the lasso tool. Okay, cool. So that's starting to frame the face a little bit more. Okay, so now we got some more context. Good job. Good job, everyone. Now, because we've got some shadows happening in the neck area, I want to replicate them underneath their hair. So we need to really knock down the values on that forehead. Oh no. Be careful, I'm putting my finger now. Okay, so now we put some of that hair there. I want to make sure that I get a bit of this shadow happening. We can soften that right up, I think, eventually. Just get rid of that harsh highlight there. We're gonna play with this side bit. Edgar Gonzalez Art. Thank you so much, my friend. Thanks for popping in. No, that's not going to work, is it? Oh, shit. Ah! Oil paint, I'm not used to. Let's see if we can darken that right down. Okay, we can maneuver this. Nah, I'm just putting paint on top of paint at the moment. So let's just carve that in a little bit that I can come back later and figure it out. Thank you so much, Sujeng. Mark, nah, no mediums. Oh, I got paint thinner, just a tiny little bit of paint thinner. The odorless, whatever. Might actually want this to all like blend into one another as it goes back. Maybe. Alright, that nose. Way too dark. See, this is a massive benefit I'm finding compared to like digital, is just having a visual representation of my values, you know? So then I can just like tweak them just like ever so slightly. Such a cool thing. I mean, that's probably a bit too dark and grey, so whoa, too much. Get out of here. Now making that transition between the forehead and that brow more apparent with the values. It's a little bit too much. I want to kind of smooth it. Oh shit. I want to kind of smooth the transition. Oh, there's no background music. Sorry. Let me give you more music. There we go. How's that? That should be coming through now. something to learn as well. The intensity the different paints offer. Wrong. Appreciate it, Prashan. Ah, yes, very emo. Oh no. Welcome to Headband. A big buckle in the shape of a daisy would be nice. A buckle. A buckle where? Yeah, yeah, the hair will get some modeling done for sure.
All I've been seeing is flawed jewelry and fake digits. So when I tell them I'm the coldest, it ain't superstition. Every time you see me, you gon' find me in a new position. You mean? Look, ain't had to tell them I'm the truth, I think they knew it. Don't like to talk about the shit, I like to do it. So while these other hungry going through it, you see me thumbing through these hundreds, getting to it. Ain't had to tell them I'm the truth, I think they knew it. Don't like to talk about that shit, I like to do it. So while these other hungry going through it, you see me thumbing through these hundreds, getting to it.
And we haven't even touched the specular highlights yet. I can't wait for that. Still got to figure out the modeling of the forms.
Got them Googling the caption, trying to see who said these. Tell these hateful mother I've been choosing love. It's the God, baby, tell me really who's above. These watching always talking what it used to was. Meanwhile, I'm raising up them digits like the booster club. I'm in my finest hour, hit the shower for one. Doing push-ups, running laps around the comfortable ones. I be coolin', I be chillin', I be with fun. But check the trophy case, I can't find nothing you done. Need Huxtable funds. You either with it or you in the way. Making money, been to play, ain't looking for no friend today. I just came to kindergarten, I do not intend to stay. Look you in the eyes and let you know that's what I meant to say. Ain't had to tell them I'm the truth, I think they knew it. Don't like to talk about the shit, I like to do it. So while these other hungry going through it, you see me thumbing through these hundreds, getting to it. Ain't had to tell them I'm the truth, I think they knew it. Don't like to talk about that shit, I like to do it. So while these other hungry going through it, you see me thumbing through these hundreds, getting to it.
Just want to cut in that nose, the nasolabial fold. Oh, hairpin. Circle in the shape of it. Yeah. Yep. I don't hate that actually. That's a good idea. Now, because she's got this deeper sort of deal, in the eyes there, I kind of want to match that on the other side. So to do that, we can do one of two things. We can darken that inner part of it, or we can slightly lighten, like this part in here, because it's going to be catching some reflected light. I'm feeling that we can try and too dark. Too dark. Try again. Too light. Middle ground. What do you think? There you go. So you just put, you probably can't even see it on the camera. It just like puts a little, I think we could even go like a touch up in value, just like just an absolute smidge. So it just models that other side of the face a little bit more. The general sound is so low. Is this about me? Is it? I hope not. Rotato potato. Thank you so much.
It get hotter in the summer, yeah. Hotter in the summer. The winter don't stand no chances. Hotter in the summer.
Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. Sorry, I've got all new bloody audio equipment, so that might be a little bit better, hopefully. It's better? Fantastic. Uh,
Went from wearing Chuck Taylor to Balenciaga. Sweaty niggas think I'm rubbing on the genie bottom. Giving not a saying nada, I'm just pushing product. I made my waves in the winter, now my summer hotter. Niggas gotta catch up. Move too swift for all the lame shit. You asking for a favor, how I know we ain't the same, bitch. Watch how I in and out lane switch. They trying to earn cheese off a cake, but they ain't Swiss.
Aolos. What's going on? See, I'm just ever so slight, like the finesse you can get with oils compared to digital. You can get it with digital, don't get me wrong. But it just, I think it's a lot to do with actually seeing this. It's all right here. The answers are all right here. How wanky does that sound? Now here I really want a transition, like a real like high chroma transition into the light. Or higher chroma, let's say. To give that mini, I guess you could say subsurface scattering-ish kind of vibe. And it's just slowly building it, slowly building it up. Yeah. Do you use Twitter much? Yeah, I've been posting to Twitter more recently, actually. Yeah, Ashlyn, I just had that experience here with the ear. Like you've got the amount of paint that I put on, it's only going to let me. I had to layer it on pretty thick, or else the paint underneath would like meld into the other. Like, I'm in love. Even just modeling the mouth here, I'm thinking about the exact same thing. Values, that wireframe, just to get that little crease. Needs to go up in value. Or we need to bring the sides down in value. Sides of the nose. Maybe that's the ticket. It modeled it a little bit better, but not convinced. Not convinced. More convinced. Hey, Yolos, yeah, I've been practicing some traditional stuff and been bloody loving it. Ashlyn, that's how it is. That's how it is. Owen, what's going on? Welcome. That eye needs to come down. Oh, I got a tango with the bloody camera. It's a little bit boss-eyed, so I think what I have to do is actually bring this eye out. A little bit more maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We'll just leave it for now. One more opportunity, I reckon, before we head off, is this upper part of the lip here. I think we could round that off by adding just a slight. Let's test this. Too dark. Probs too light? No. No, let's increase the brightness a tad. That just brings, it's not rim light, it's more just like the sort of ambient light showing that this is like a curved form, which I think as well we can push the lip a little bit further this way. Let's see how that goes. Ashlyn, isn't it? Enhance. That's it. But it doesn't really enhance anything because it goes really weird because of the texture, which is unfortunate. But what's the time? Owen, no, I haven't. I have not. Speedy Bunnies. Thank you, my friend. Welcome. Aiolos Fritzalas. How don't you have muddy colors even though you don't wash the brush? That's the thing with oils. You just really wipe the oil off, pick up a new thing, and it doesn't really cross over too much. But sometimes it does a little bit, which I'm kind of fine with. All right, look, I reckon I might leave it there. Because for acrylics, it's the complete opposite. If you don't, you got doomsday. I haven't played around with acrylics. It'd be good for... I've looked at acrylic gouache, which sounds interesting. But no acrylics. One thing I do want to test before we go. Let's see if I've fixed the Photoshop issue. So here we go. How smooth is Photoshop for me? Whoop. I'm just curious. Let's change this. The tablet is around the wrong way, so that's not going to help. Let us see. It's feeling okay. But everyone, fingers crossed for me. Oh. We've got liftoff. Bam, we're back. So smooth. But fuck. I've just got to hold on. I've just got to reset the studio display. Give me a minute. Okay, now we've got good performance. I think. Yeah, look at that. No jankiness. I don't think. Oh yeah, I just did this little sketch yesterday. It's really janky. I think it's got to come down like a lot more. Something like that. But look, I can draw now. I'm freaking so happy about that. So yeah, it was an internet issue. So I haven't dropped a frame this whole stream. So I just jacked up my internet, and we should have smooth streams moving forward. Touch wood. Dino anatomy stream. Hopefully soon. That'd be fun. That would be fun. But look, it's 11 p.m. I'm absolutely knackered. But I'm just going to leave it there. I had some fun sort of building this one up. We started with more of sort of like a little block in, a few modeling it a little bit, but I've just sort of taken it a bit further, keeping in mind the light source. And yeah, I don't know how to articulate this stuff just yet, but I will learn. I can make oh, you know it. You know it. All right. Siddhartha, love from India. Oops, sorry, just missed that one. Let me come back to you. I really love your work. I'm a concept artist. Ah, fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Baz Ravaj, How you doing? Azay Zahan. Hello. All right, look. With that said, that was a nice little experimental stream. I think I'm going to do them. Whether it be weekly or bi-weekly or just like traditional stuff. It could be even sculpting as well. I've got some ideas for some sculpt streams. Maybe even some cross. I was thinking, now I've got this set up where my computer isn't shitting itself. I could like even light something here or like do a sketch here where I'm more comfortable to start with. Then move over traditional and see how the learning process is between the two. And even doing stuff in Blender, you know, like cracking out. Let's see if it even works. So doing something, I was thinking about this, like, let's have a look. Remember this one from a few streams back? If we like lit her, you know, took like a screenshot, and then we could figure out like different lighting scenarios and how the light actually like goes off of the paint, and really just like crossing all the stuff. That's what I'm interested in, just like learning all different stuff. So I hope you come along for the journey with me. But we'll just do the Monday streams as usual. Nothing's changed there. Sketchy by Weirdo. Next gouache. Yeah, I reckon, because gouache I'm starting to get the hang of. And I reckon I might start doing more of this kind of stuff. Let's, like this. Whoop, you can't see it. Like this kind of stuff in gouache. This is actually going to be my next gouache study, like my personal gouache study. So these little environments are fun. But yeah, do a digital paint over of your traditional stuff. There you go. You could do that. There's so many possibilities, but it's like it's going to come out of the paper and come alive. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to sort of hang out with you and just have fun figuring stuff out. So thank you again for popping in, and I will catch you on Monday, 10:45 Australian Central Standard Time. It'll be Sunday around 4 p.m. PST, I believe. So I can't wait to ask why you are drawing buildings next traditional stream. Can't wait to ask why, because they're fun. I like them. All right. Toodaloo. It was a pretty smooth stream. Pretty happy with that. Let's keep this up. All right. Catch you later.